Kim Kardashian wrote a letter to her future self 10 years ago. It's now resurfaced, and fans are pointing out some predictions for 2025 that missed the mark. Kim Kardashian hoped that her sister Khloe would fall in love and marry someone great. The letter read, "I hope Khloe finds her happily ever after and falls madly in love with a really great guy because she really deserves it." Khloe had an off and on relationship with NBA star Tristan Thompson before they officially split in 2021, so it's safe to say that prediction didn't age well. A fan online said, "Why did the Khloe part make me sad?" While another echoed, "The Khloe part is hurtful." Another user even just said, "Sorry, Khloe." To give some background, Khloe and Tristan were first linked in 2016 after attending a party in Miami together. In 2018, they welcomed their first child, True Thompson. Tristan was then caught cheating on Khloe multiple times during her pregnancy. They split after it was revealed that he kissed Kylie Jenner's best friend Jordan Woods at a party. The pair then reconciled in 2020 and ended things in 2021. 6 months after they ended, it came to light that Tristan fathered a child with Marley Nichols while he and Khloe were actually still together. Just months later, in July 2022, Khloe revealed that the pair were expecting their second child, son Tatum, via surrogate. Now, the pair are currently co-parenting and claim there is no romantic connection between them, so Kim's prediction and dream unfortunately did not come true for Khloe. Maybe in the next 10 years, here's hoping. She also expressed her desire for sister Kourtney, saying, "I hope Kourtney is living her best life," and she also believed that Kourt would be done having babies by the time 2025 rolled around. She said she knew that Kourtney had a lot on her plate, and at the time, Kourt was the mother of Mason, Penelope, and Reign with her then boyfriend Scott Disick. Well, Kourtney has since broken up with the talentless creator, and I don't say that to be mean, like as in he has no talent. No, that's actually the name of his company. It's literally called Talentless. Anyway, we now know that Kourtney welcomed a son named Rocky with her now husband Travis Barker. Side note, it's funny because I always forget that Kim Kardashian and Travis Barker reportedly dated around 2006 and 2007, around the same time that Kim was working with Paris Hilton. Now, I won't get too much into it, but according to Travis's memoir, he wrote in it that he had a strong attraction to Kim and they would often go to dinner or lunch together. However, in this present day, Travis actually maintains that their relationship was strictly platonic and he's never hooked up with Kim, despite his ex-wife Shanna Mackler claiming that she caught him cheating on her with Kim. That is like very, very messy. Like, considering he is now married to Kourtney, I wonder if one day we will find out the truth around all that. Anyway, some people found, Kim's comment about Kourtney having kids hilarious. One person online said, "Kourtney having a baby currently is sending me into orbit," with another person saying, "Kourtney was not done with having babies." Kim's predictions for Kendall Jenner and Kylie Jenner were on point, as she guessed that Kendall would still be modeling while Kylie would continue being herself, whatever that was supposed to mean. Kim made a point to just say she hopes Kylie is doing whatever she wants since she doesn't like to take orders or directions, and honestly, that's kind of on point if you think about it. Kylie went off to have quite a remarkable decade from 2015 to now 2025, transforming from, a teenager to a successful entrepreneur and mother. She leveraged her massive social media following to launch her cosmetics company, Kylie Cosmetics, with her initial product, the Kylie Lip Kit, becoming like a huge success, selling out very quickly and establishing her as a force in the beauty industry. Kylie expanded her cosmetics line, introducing new products such as eyeshadows, highlighters, and skincare. In 2018, Forbes actually featured her on the cover of their America's Richest Self-Made Women's issue, estimating her net worth at about $900 million. In that same year, she actually welcomed her daughter Stormy Webster with her then partner Travis Scott and launched her skincare line, Kylie Skin. From 2023 to now, she's continued to just build her business empire, launching new products and collaborations while also, supporting various charitable causes, including children's hospitals and women's empowerment organizations. In 2022, she did welcome her son Wolf. Wait, no, actually his name got changed to Air just a day day after Stormi's 4th birthday. So, it's safe to say Kylie has done her big one. She's achieved a lot in 10 years. I honestly really can't hate on her at all. Kendall did exactly what Kim predicted as well. I mean, she established herself as a very successful model and walked the runway for top designers like Chanel, Gucci, and Versace. She became a regular fixture on the fashion circuit, appearing in campaigns for Estee Lauder, Calvin Klein, and Adidas. She even became the face and invested in a tequila brand called 818. She did have that little moment of backlash in 2017 for her appearance in a Pepsi commercial, that caused like a whole bunch of controversy, and I won't get into that, but all in all, she's been very consistent with participating in various, charity initiatives, and she continues to remain a prominent figure in the fashion and entertainment industry. Kim Kardashian's predictions for her sisters were well-intentioned, but fans debated whether these sentiments align with their current personal lives, especially given the ups and downs documented on their reality show. As for her brother Rob Kardashian, she actually didn't mention him, which is kind of shady, I don't know. When the video resurfaced in the new year, social media users called it so cute, but also didn't hesitate to point out the discrepancies. One person wrote, "Welp" at Kourtney and Khloe, and another noted that Kim included a photo of her then husband Kanye West, whom she did not actually mention by name in the footage. She did, however, talk about raising their now 11-year-old daughter North. She actually wrote, "I hope you remember that preteens are going through a lot. Junior high is a really tough time, so remember to have a lot of patience." This decade-old video for Glamour magazine offers a glimpse into the reality star's mindset a decade ago and her expectations for her future. Fans have had mixed reactions to the predictions, with some highlighting their accuracy and others reflecting on the failed predictions and on the unpredictability of life, even for someone as influential as Kim Kardashian. One person said, "It's interesting to see how even someone as calculated as Kim couldn't predict all the twists and turns of life," while another person added, "She dreamed big, and honestly, she has accomplished a lot more than most can imagine in 10 years. Kim not only makes predictions for her family, she also makes some about her career, personal growth, and even like some fashion choices. As a style icon, Kim touched on her hopes for fashion in 2025. She said, "Please tell me we're still not wearing those crazy sky-high heels." While high heels remain a staple in red carpet and high fashion settings, Kardashian has been seen embracing more practical styles in recent years, including Yeezy slides and other comfortable footwear options. She also expressed curiosity about beauty trends, questioning, whether contouring would still dominate the industry. And given the continued popularity of her beauty lines and the persistence of contouring as a staple in makeup routines, this prediction has stood the test of time. Kim envisioned her career evolving, expressing hope for continued success in her business venture. She said, "I hope you are still running successful businesses and have at least one more baby." The mother of four has certainly surpassed this goal with her ventures like Skims, KKW Beauty, and her leap into law and criminal justice reform. However, the letter also highlights her hope to have fully embraced a more private lifestyle. She said to her future self, "Remember to always take a little time for yourself and to just slow down." She also imagined herself happily married and raising her children in a stable family environment. She even asked the question to herself saying, "Are you still married to that perfect man?" Well, we all know how that one aged as she finalized her divorce from Kanye West in 2022. Dear Kim, when you read this, you'll be 10 years older in the year 2025. I hope this is where you are. That is actually how she began her 2025 prediction video, and at the time of filming it, Kim was actually pregnant with Saint, and she said to her future self, "When it comes to how you'll feel about your body, remember to be kind to yourself and enjoy how you look now because you're not getting any younger." Aside from her hopes and dreams of contouring skills being, a thing in the makeup world and her business is flourishing, she actually hoped as well that science would somehow invent a mysterious and delicious green juice to keep her tanned forever. She went on to say, "We both know that there are always so many haters out there, and I just hope that you can continue to ignore them and focus on everything positive." And she then added, "Call mom every single day," which I think is cute. She also asked some questions to herself saying, "Are you still filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Are you still decorating our dream home? Are selfies still a thing? Are the, terms bae and on fleek so 2015? If not, am I still on fleek?" Well, I mean, Keeping Up actually did come to an end and wrapped up its 20-season run on June 20th, 2021. The series finale was an emotional goodbye, with the family members, reflecting on their time on the show and the memories they've made. The show's conclusion actually marked an end of an era, but But that didn't last too long, as they did return to reality TV with their new Hulu series, The Kardashians, in April of 2022. Kim also jokingly said to herself, "If you haven't broken the 100 billion mark on Instagram followers, I will be very disappointed in you." Womp womp. So while that prediction or dream didn't come true, you should know that she actually has a whopping 359 million followers, which is like still a lot, and more than she had in 2015, which was around 42 million. So there's that. The time capsule video is absolutely going viral, and it's left many people wondering, what's next?
The Kardashians are very good friends with Diddy, and they've been connected to him for years. Now, starting off, there's one photo that was released of Diddy, Paris Hilton, and Kim Kardashian all together at one of Diddy's white parties. Now, this was taken in 2006, 1 year before they started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So even before they really rose to fame, Kim was still seen with the star. Why? Well, Kim worked for and was good friends with Paris Hilton. And Paris, being a young socialite who loved to party, was always at Diddy parties. I mean, in 2008, Paris even spoke out about attending Diddy's first ever party in 1998, saying it was iconic and everyone was there. So if Paris was there and Kim was chasing fame, then there's a connection there. Kim's then boyfriend Ray J was also really good friends with Diddy. We've all been around him, at least in my era, and have looked up to him. And this situation is super unfortunate, but it's important to learn a lesson right now and ensure that the next generation understands how to move differently with transparency and integrity, he continued. The artist said that although the previous generation of performers needs to be accountable for their behavior, I don't think this is a time to tear anybody down. We've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff that people are finding out. Like, I've never been in rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed, he said. But is that true? It seems like we won't know, but the fact that Kim is connected to all of this is shocking. Although Khloe can't remember exactly what she did for the star, she remembers being in the studio and running around. Now, in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, it was even revealed that she went on tour with Diddy when she was an intern, which is honestly just a little weird, and Khloe has been spotted at multiple Diddy parties since then. Now, there's also been another resurfaced clip from Keeping Up with the Kardashians from 2014, where Khloe tells Kourtney about attending one of these parties. In the clip, Khloe tells Kourtney that she was with a bunch of her friends, which includes Diddy, Quincy Brown, Justin Bieber, and French Montana. "I haven't been to bed yet. I got on a plane at 5:30 a.m., she shared. Well, this party, I think half the people were butt naked. Kourtney was unfazed about the comments on partiers stripping down at the bash, and then turned to Khloe's friend to ask if she had met her sister's new crew of friends at the party. "No, well, kind of," the friend replied, to which Khloe jumped in, snapping, "Stop talking." When her friend then tried defending herself, telling Khloe that she hadn't revealed anything, Khloe ordered her friend to stop talking. Now, 2 years after this, Khloe then invited Diddy to appear on her Cocktails with Khloe series, where she continuously praised the star. "Well, I know you're known for the parties. When you think of a party or a good time, you think of Puff," she said. "We've been known to party with you a few times." Now, turning to her sister Kourtney, who was also taking part in the episode, she continued, "You were just at Puffy's birthday. Yes, I forgot about that. That was an epic night too. That night was fun because all the girls ditched me, so it was just me and the boys. It was me, Kanye, Corey Gamble, Tyga, and we were all just hanging out, and it was fun. I loved it." Khloe added, "I don't know how you have all the energy, but that's who you are, and that's why people are so drawn to you, because you're so electric. No matter what, no matter how much you work, you don't sleep, you don't do anything, but that's just you," she said about Diddy. Now, Diddy's friendship to the family was still going strong 3 years later, as Khloe posted pictures beside Diddy and her siblings, Kim and Kylie, on December 16, 2019. She posted photos from Diddy's 50th birthday and captioned the post, "Nothing like a Diddy party." Now, the post is still up today. But a resurfaced clip of Kanye West calling out Diddy has been going around, as Kanye used to be really good friends with Diddy, but that all changed. 2 years ago, in 2022, Kanye claimed that Diddy was working with law enforcement, and that's why he was getting away with some of the stuff he was doing. In the interview for Drink Champs in 2022, Kanye called out celebrities for allegedly working with law enforcement to turn on other celebrities so they could avoid prison. Now, one of the celebrities he called out by name was Diddy. Now, the whole interview was eventually deleted due to some offensive things that Kanye said, as it was 2022, and this is when he was having what appeared to be some sort of breakdown. But with people now digging this interview back up, his comments about Diddy hold more weight. Kanye said that Diddy is making deals to keep himself out of trouble. The reason you gotta talk is because you did a deal, you effing fed. That's why you've gotta come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promised you're gonna go pull my card, he said. Now, a lot of people didn't take this seriously as Kanye was acting insane around this time and was honestly just full of hate, but it seems like he might have been right about this. Now, in the end though, Diddy was arrested, so if he did have a deal, it didn't really work out. Now, in 2022 as well, Kanye posted texts between the two of them, and one included Kanye saying, "F you, you fed." So it seems like Kanye knew that there was something up the whole time. And am I saying that we should always listen to whatever Kanye West says? No, definitely not, but maybe he had some points when it came to Diddy and pop culture. Now, old selfies of Kris Jenner and Diddy are resurfacing as well. Corey Gamble, Kris's longtime boyfriend, also plays a role in this drama. Now, as a reminder, Kris and Corey have been dating since 2014. Now, people worry more about whether Kris is caught up in Diddy's drama and whether Corey is involved as well. In an episode of the Juicy Scoop podcast, which Newsweek reported, Spencer Pratt from The Hills discussed the drama, saying, "The new conspiracy theory on TikTok, which I'm sure will end this week because she'll pop up on Instagram, but Kris fled the country. No one has seen her since someone raided Diddy's house. Supposedly, she and Corey are on these tapes. This is all allegedly, it's what TikTok is saying. If they ban TikTok, where will we find all these stories?" he said. However, since that podcast, Kris has participated in a handful of events and has also uploaded a handful of posts on Instagram, so who knows if it's true. A lot of people believe that Corey must have some knowledge of what was going on, claimed a source. The insider also noted that he totally denies these allegations. However, it's been said that Kris has already started to plan her family's rescue in case things get dirty for her daughters. It's all very ugly and very embarrassing, and Kris is scrambling to distance them from all of this and distract everyone. But that's going to be impossible if they get called to testify. Another source said all these years they bragged about partying with Diddy have of course got everyone assuming that they were somehow involved in these depraved freak-offs, the source said. They then asserted that the family had no idea the sorts of twisted things he was up to after hours. Now, chatting to In Touch magazine, the insider continued, "Now they suggested that Kris Jenner is presently scrambling to distance the family from all of this."
Kris Jenner and Robert Kardashian, they essentially had the perfect life. Kris and Robert had 4 children together, they lived in a beautiful home in Beverly Hills, and Robert had a great job as a wealthy entrepreneur and lawyer. But Kris admitted that she felt that something was missing when she was introduced to professional soccer player Todd Waterman, who was 10 years younger than her. She became involved in an affair. Kris said, "When you're very young, you do a lot of stupid things. It's probably the biggest regret of my life that I ended up having an affair. I was probably just really naive and stupid and restless and didn't realize that marriage has its ups and downs. Sometimes people think the grass is always greener, and that was like what I think I went through at some point." The bombshell revelation first came out in her memoir called Kris Jenner and All Things Kardashian. Khloe later revealed that the affair destroyed her dad and it had a terrible effect on the family. For Khloe Kardashian and Lamar Odom, it was pretty much love at first sight. The pair tied the knot in September of 2009 after just a month of dating. But Khloe's only marriage unfortunately ended in disaster. Relatively soon into the marriage, it was revealed that not only did Lamar have a serious substance misuse problem, but he also admitted to being with countless other women during the relationship. The couple divorced shortly after he was found unconscious in a brothel. According to Lamar, dating a Kardashian is hard, so hard that it made him cheat on his ex-wife multiple times during their marriage. He said, "When I became Khloe Kardashian's man on TV, it made me look more enticing." As a result, he claimed, thoughts came out of the woodwork. "If there is one thing I regret when I I was married, it was having multiple affairs with different women. That wasn't the stand-up thing to do. I wish I could have kept my D in my pants. Next up, Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick. In 2015, Scott was spotted getting handsy with stylist Chloe Bartoli while in Monte Carlo. It wasn't long after that Kourtney announced she was splitting from the father of her 3 kids. Following the affair, Scott came clean to the family, saying, "I've apologized to Kourtney 100 times, but I've never apologized to all of you for letting all of you down and embarrassing you guys." So it was obvious that he had trouble remaining committed to Kourtney. The two broke up briefly after this incident and then got back together, but continued to have a rocky relationship. First, her sister, Kim, caught a girl hiding in Scott's bathroom in Dubai, and finally, the eldest Kardashian invited Scott on a family vacation to Costa Rica. He ended up sneaking a girl into his hotel room while he was trying to reunite with his ex. This final incident is what prompted Kardashian to tell Scott they were never ever getting back together. The reality star came under fire for promoting Flat Tummy Co.'s appetite suppressant lollipops to her millions of Instagram followers. She posted a picture of herself with the diet ad candy and wrote, "They're literally unreal." While Kim has posted sponsored ads for weight loss products before, things like meals replacement shakes, the whole appetite suppressant thing falls into a different, far more contentious category. The lollipops contain an extract from natural plants that is said to control cravings, food intake, and weight. But while the active ingredient is technically safe, many nutrition experts agree that appetite suppressants are a short-term, ultimately ineffective diet strategy that can promote harmful eating habits and aggravate already existing disorders. The fact that the company's product comes in lollipop form seems geared towards a younger consumer, which just makes it all the more troubling. Manhattan-based nutritionist Maria Marlowe criticized the move and said Kim is an incredible marketeer and brander, and many young women look up to her. But this is sending the wrong messages that being hungry is bad, that our bodies need to be controlled, and that the route to our ideal body comes in candy form. Not only that, but relying on a suppressant is a distraction from focusing on a healthy diet and exercise. It's not a great option in the long term. Although Kim is used to making questionable fashion choices, many felt that she sank to a new low when she decided to wear the famous Marilyn dress. This historical item was actually worn by Marilyn Monroe herself while she was singing Happy Birthday to President Kennedy in 1962. It was lent out to her by Ripley's Museum. Scott Fortner, a collector, shared photos of the dress in a blog post after Kim had returned it, which appeared to show stretched fabric and missing crystals on the back. Not only that, but while being interviewed on the red carpet, she said that when she first tried the dress on, it didn't fit her. So to ensure that the delicate fabric wouldn't tear, she dropped 16 pounds ahead of the event in order to squeeze into it. She then changed into a replica dress once she got to the entrance of the party because she couldn't walk up the museum steps of the Met Gala without ripping the original. But the fact she was even allowed to wear it was enough to anger fans everywhere. It was bought by Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in a 2016 auction for $4.8 million and is usually kept in a darkened, temperature-controlled vault at 40 to 50% humidity to preserve the delicate fabric. So of course, people were fuming that Kim permanently damaged the dress, especially because when you consider the design of it, the fabric is literally irreparable. Kim's union with NBA player Kris Humphries has gone down in history as one of the shortest in Hollywood. This has led to some fans to question whether it was made for TV, specifically after the 2-part E! special called Kim's Fairy Tale Wedding. The Los Angeles Times even reported that Kim had only married him to increase ratings on the show. But in 2017, the reality star admitted to Andy Cohen that she knew the marriage was doomed from the beginning. It turns out that she only rushed into it because of the pressure of turning 30. There were also signs that their marriage was going to end quickly. A few days before Kim divorced Kris on day 68, the couple were spotted arguing in their car while they were out on a dinner date in Hollywood. They were photographed heading back to Kim's car, and you could visibly see the tension in the air. Kris looked fed up, and Kim was giving him the death stare while yelling and waving her hand. This very public fight was indicative that the relationship was on the rocks. In the divorce, Kris asked for $7 million of a settlement, otherwise he threatened to make Kim go through an ugly public trial. But he ended up walking away with literally nothing. In 2018, photos of Tristan having an affair surfaced online while he was dating Khloe. To make matters worse, she was 9 months pregnant at the time. Not long after, TMZ came out with video footage dating back to October of 2017 that showed the NBA player kissing 2 other random women at a club. Despite the fact that there was now hard evidence of Tristan cheating on Khloe, without really attempting to hide it, they decided to stay together for the birth of their child. But things did not stay smooth forever. In 2019, reports surfaced that Tristan had cheated on Khloe once again, this time with none other than Jordyn Woods, who is a close friend of the family, seeing that she was Kylie Jenner's best friend and roommate. Anonymous party attendees told TMZ that the pair were all over each other and made out several times throughout the night. The explosive incident almost broke up the family entirely, and as a result, multiple relationships were ruined. Last September, Kris Jenner went on The Late Late Show with James Corden, where she was strapped to a lie detector and interviewed about the infamous tape that was released in 2007 of Kim Kardashian and Ray J. Kris denied the year-long speculation that she was involved in its production. Once the results came back, it seemed as though she was telling the truth. Of course, Kim kept up with this narrative too, but neither of them had expected Ray J to respond to the interview. He appeared on Instagram Live with a full presentation to prove that she was lying. He showed screenshots of text messages that Kanye West had sent him asking for the original tapes because he wanted to give them back to Kim. In response, Ray J said, "I got 2 kids and a tech company. Why would I involve myself in this? I'm so past this, bro. I'm assuming you know the full story from 05, right? How it happened, who brokered the deal, who put it all together, etc." This is when Ray J made the most shocking revelation ever. He said, "Kris Jenner is the one who made us shoot the second tape in Santa Barbara." He then claimed that Kris orchestrated the filming of the last tape and even watched them to decide which was best. Kim K came under fire when she bought the iconic cross necklace that was worn by Princess Diana for $197,000. 4 people competed in a bidding war, but Kim ended up winning the auction after 5 minutes. The amethyst cross is a 1920s pendant by a luxury jewelry designer, which Diana wore on many occasions. The cross-shaped pendant features large amethyst stones framed by a 5.2 carat diamond. After news of the purchase came out, Kim started trending on Twitter as everyone was jumping to create their own Kim Kardashian has purchased meme as a way to make fun of the historical artifacts she had bought. They have quoted Kim as saying, "I just did what needed to be done." Kim and Scott Disick are being sued for $40 million after they were accused of hatching a contest scam and fooling innocent people. The lawsuit alleges that the two created a fake lottery in 2020 and announced that the winner will get $100,000 and 2 first-class tickets to LA, as well as a 3-night stay in Beverly Hills, and they could shop like Kim. But turned out this was all fake. The filing claims it says that Kim and Scott worked with an Australian company, Curated, to sell the personal information of the players to advertisers. Apparently, the winners of the contest were announced, but their Instagram handles were quickly made private, which raised a few red flags. The people that did enter the contest and lost were then invaded by hundreds of advertisers, soliciting them with potentially offensive and unwanted content. However, the Australian company has said that the contest is legitimate and there is legal paperwork to back it. Both Kim and Scott have yet to comment on the lawsuit.
Starting off, we have the Taylor Swift phone call. One of the most iconic VMA moments to ever happen was in 2009 when Taylor Swift was accepting her VMA for Best Female Video. Suddenly, in the middle of her speech, Kanye West stormed the stage and took the microphone from her and said the infamous line, "Yo Taylor, I'm really happy for you, I'ma let you finish, but Beyonce has one of the best videos of all time." Now this created a feud, and it appeared that the pair had seemingly made up in 2015 after being seen together at an award show and posting on social media, but that changed in 2016. Kanye dropped his song Famous, which had the line, "I me and Taylor might still have why I made that be famous." Now he claimed that he had Taylor's permission, which she denied. However, Kim stepped in to defend her then husband, saying that Taylor totally approved that, and then went a step further by releasing a video of a phone call between Taylor and Kanye in which you can hear them discussing the song in question. Kim then made the internet turn against Taylor and had people flood Taylor's comments with snake emojis. Taylor then went into hiding, but in 2020 it was revealed that the video Kim had posted was edited. Taylor then broke her silence about the video through an Instagram story where she lightly shaded Kim by writing that she was telling the truth the whole time and that somebody, aka Kim, edited and manipulated it to frame her. Since then, a lot of people have turned on Kim and Kanye, and they hate them for trying to frame Taylor. Next up is her robbery. In October 2016, Kim was robbed at weapon point in her Paris hotel room with around $10 million million worth of jewelry being taken. Kim had been staying at the Hotel de Portels for Paris Fashion Week when the masked men broke in. They tied her up and duct taped her mouth and eyes shut. Then, during a sit-down interview with David Letterman in 2020, Kim described the evening as 7 or 8 minutes of torture. Thankfully, Kim did not sustain any physical injuries during the heist, but she was left mentally scarred by the ordeal and had flashbacks and anxiety attacks. It was later revealed that the intruders, a group of men in their 60s and 70s, had been planning the burglary for 2 years before the attack and had used her social media pages to organize the heist in its entirety. French police said that Kim's use of Snapchat may have alerted the robbers to the jewelry that she had with her in Paris, as well as the fact that she was in her hotel room alone. Then there's Kanye harassing her. So we all know that Kim harassed Taylor Swift, but Kanye West ended up harassing her, giving her a taste of her own medicine. On February 7th, 2022, Pete Davidson publicly called Kim his girlfriend for the first time in a video interview with People. "I either just hang with my friends or chill with my girlfriend inside," he casually told the outlet. Then they became more public with their relationship, but in August 2022 they broke up. According to E! News, who first broke the story, the pair's busy work schedules and being long distance contributed to their decision to part ways. Now, part of this breakup probably though had to do with Kanye. It seemed like Kanye was obsessed with this couple. Kanye wrote a song about Pete and how much he hates him, and in the music video he literally ended Pete's life. He bullied Pete all over the internet and went on tangent after tangent on social media about Kim, often leaving her in tears. Now let's talk about North West. Kim's first child, North West, sure is something. She's pretty much a copy of her father, Kanye West. Kim has shed light on North's outgoing personality and admitted that she takes after her father, who is certainly no stranger when it comes to pushing boundaries. Kim said, "Absolutely, I mean North West is Kanye West's daughter. Forget that, she's his twin. She's blunt with her mother, telling her when her outfit looks bad, and she tells people her mom's secrets." Now, when speaking about North on her show, Kim said, "North is really special and smart and creative and definitely beats to her own drum. Her personality is really silly." She continued by saying, "Courtney always says that North is my lesson on this planet. It means I'm supposed to learn more patience. She teaches me patience. She has taught me a lot about life." Now it seems like North could be her karma. Moving on to her rough pregnancies. Kim has 4 children, but she only gave birth to 2 of them because of her rough pregnancies. For her last 2 children, she ended up getting a surrogate because it was too dangerous for her. During her second birth, she suffered from placenta erecta, the same condition she experienced with her first pregnancy with daughter North. Now, the reality star opened up about her past pregnancy complications in a post on her website when discussing her concerns about childbirth the second time around. She said, "I was able to get pregnant through that with my son Saint, and then I had 2 embryos left. I had the same condition, same awful delivery that I had with my first daughter," she said in the video. "After that, I had to have 5 different operations within a year and a half to fix the damage that all of that did on the inside." Now, both children she birthed were happy and healthy though, and going for a surrogate for the next 2 was probably a good idea. Then there's being called out for Photoshop. Kim has been called out for photoshopping her photos for years now. Now, one of the most shocking times was when she photoshopped photos of her own daughter and nieces, which is just crazy. But some fans were able to spot photos where she removed entire body parts from herself. In August 2022, Kim promoted her collaboration with Beats by Dre with photos and videos of herself enjoying some pool time, but eagle-eyed TikTok users noticed that the reality star appeared to edit out her trapezius muscles. Kim K is notorious for photoshopping out her traps, the user Caroline began in a video. Why? I don't know, maybe it makes her neck look smaller. In January 2022, Kim posted photos from her Skims swim collection photo shoot, only for fans to immediately notice that her leg appeared warped and featured a curve behind her knee. "Kim, what happened to your leg?" one fan commented, while another hinted on Twitter, Kim, your right leg is..." The reality star was quick to delete and then repost the photo without the error, but her followers were quick to take screenshots of the mishap. Now let's talk about the fake flower. In 2012, Kim created a new fragrance and had a launch party for it, but things didn't go as planned. Someone unleashed a flower bomb on Kim, ruining her outfit and yelling what sounded like "lousy fur hag." Now, at the time of the attack, it was speculated that a PETA activist had thrown the flower, as the organization previously condemned Kim's former love of real fur. But recently, Kim's former media strategist claims that her infamous 2012 flower bomb attack was actually a manufactured media moment. A PR professional who worked with Kim starting around 2005 claimed that the incident was an inside job, according to the British Channel 4 documentary, The Kardashians' Billion Dollar Dynasty. Now, sources close to the situation told the Post that Kim was never aware of the move and placed the blame on PETA, the animal rights organization that was originally speculated to be behind the incident. But it wouldn't surprise me if she was behind this, as her career was just starting out and it would give her more media coverage. On to the Met Gala dress drama. When Kim arrived at the 2022 Met Gala in the Marilyn Monroe dress, she revealed that she had to lose 16 pounds in 3 weeks in order to fit into the gown. Now, following this, many slammed Kim for appearing to promote a toxic and dangerous mindset about body image and weight loss. Now, in Kim's defense though, her trainer maintained that she lost the weight in a healthy way. All of this though got covered up with another scandal, as it was claimed that Kim actually damaged and ripped the real Marilyn Monroe dress. She denied it, but a Monroe collector is claiming that the dress has sustained permanent damages as a result, and frustrations have been renewed. Scott Fortner, a collector who works to authenticate and verify Monroe memorabilia, shared photos of the dress that were taken after the Met that appear to show stretched and buckling fabric, along with missing crystals or ones left hanging by a thread. Up next is being kicked off the stage by Prince. On Prince's Welcome to Tour, which saw the legendary artist perform over 80 shows from 2010 to 2012, he traveled across North America and cemented his legacy with a series of critically acclaimed shows. Now, on the final night of his Madison Square Garden residency, Prince hunted for someone in the star-studded front rows to join him on stage. He then spotted Kim and asked her to join him on stage, and he immediately began dancing around her. Now, for those of you who don't know, Kim hates dancing, so why she agreed to go on stage, I don't know. She laughed nervously while standing in place and clapping for him before Prince instructed her to get off my stage. Kim later discussed the incident during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, when she told Ryan Seacrest, "I was just so nervous and I was just like laughing. To my defense, like, didn't Prince watch Dancing with the Stars? Like, I'm not a good dancer." Now, following this moment, Prince and Kim would never meet again. He never forgot her performance on stage with him, as he refused to take part in an episode of New Girl alongside members of her family, according to Zooey Deschanel. And finally, we have the diamond earring. In one of the most iconic scenes in Keeping Up with the Kardashians history, the family was vacationing in Bora Bora in 2011. Kim was with Kris Humphries at the time, and he threw her into the ocean while she was wearing her clothes. Kim then noticed that her $75,000 earrings she was wearing were no longer in her ears. She then begins to cry and turns hysterical. When her sister Kourtney finds out what happened, she iconically exclaims, "There's people that are dying, Kim." Now, Kim explained years later to People magazine why the earrings caused such a reaction. She said, "For years for my birthday, I buy myself a birthday present, and I had upgraded that pair of diamond studs. I worked really hard, I had just gotten them, and I didn't insure them. And imagine if you don't insure something and it's gone. I just threw the money away." Now, her little sister Kylie did find the earrings, but hopefully it put things into perspective for Kim.
In at number 10, Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey also exposed Kim for being a little too friendly with the paparazzi in order to get some publicity from him. The singer claims that Kim might have only been dating him for publicity. Apparently, the pair only dated for about a week, and some shady stuff went down. One time he said, let's just say this, "We went to a movie, no one followed us there. Somehow, mysteriously, when we left, there were 30 photographers waiting outside." And I think from that story, it's very clear that Kim was tipping off the paparazzi, so there would be photos of them together. And if you didn't already know, unless someone is like incredibly famous, if they're a paparazzi when they are out, they definitely tipped off that paparazzi. And at number 9, Jon Hamm. The Mad Men star definitely has some choice words for the Kardashians, and based off what he said, it's clear he does not like the family and doesn't approve of how they rose to fame. With him telling Elle UK, Whether it's Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or whoever, stupidity is certainly celebrated. Being an idiot is a valuable commodity in this culture because you're rewarded significantly. It's celebrated. It doesn't make sense to me. So clearly he doesn't like the reality TV stars whatsoever and doesn't like how our society praises socialites like Paris Hilton and the Kardashians. And like, I kinda get where he's going. Like, you know, he has some valid points. In at number 8, Kristin Cavallari. Kristin Cavallari has a very interesting relationship with the Kar Jenner clan. It all started when Kristin dated Brody Jenner, and through that relationship she also became friends with the Kardashians. But after Brody and Kristin broke up, there was tension between Kristin and Kourtney Kardashian. After Kourtney caught Scott out with Kristin while they were in an off period. And after that, Kristin called out the family for using that information as a publicity stunt to get viewers to their show. And allegedly, after rumors broke that Kristin and Scott were having an affair, the Kardashians refused to deny it and instead waited to address it on their show, leaving Kristin looking like, you know, the bad, terrible other woman when it just wasn't even true. More than a little shady if you ask me. And at number 7, Barack Obama. Former President Barack Obama also couldn't hold his tongue when talking about the famous family. And it's definitely quite the compliment when the president is speaking about you. Or is it? The former president was talking about the changing dynamics of the American dream and how it's shifting with time, saying, "There was not that window into the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Kids weren't monitoring every day what Kim Kardashian was wearing or where Kanye West was going on vacation, and thinking that somehow was the mark of success." And ouch, here it's pretty obvious he was throwing some major shade their way. And he doesn't seem to like how they are now the standard for what success is. And apparently Kanye West did not like those comments and actually fired back at the president. But also, since Obama was a former president, you know, I trust his opinion and judgment way more than Kanye's. And at number 6, Kris Humphries. Kris Humphries was someone who probably challenged the Kardashian family the most and exposed secrets about them I'm sure they did not want out. Kim and Kris got married in one of the most lavish televised ceremonies ever, but famously, after only 72 days, the couple split because Kim was having second thoughts. But based off how much content their reality shows got because of that relationship, then the breakup, Kris called Kim out for fraud, arguing that the whole relationship was just a publicity stunt. And their divorce was so messy it lasted 2 whole years before it was finalized. But during the massive trial, Kris exposed that a lot of the Kardashian show was scripted, and that the show purposefully made him look bad. Like when him and Scott threw a party in one episode while the girls were out of town, and they looked really horrible for going behind their backs when they told them not to have the party. The whole thing was actually just a huge sham, with Kim and Kourtney knowing about the party and acting like they didn't know for TV, in turn making Kris look like a terrible husband when it literally wasn't like that at all. Halfway at number 5, Rebel Wilson. Rebel Wilson revealed on a radio show that she was presented an opportunity to present an award with Kendall and Kylie Jenner, but Wilson ended up turning it down, with her saying in the interview, "I got asked to present with Kendall and Kylie at the recent VMAs and said no. It's not that you hate any of them individually, but it's just that everything they stand for is against everything I stand for, and they're not famous for talent. I've worked really hard to get where I've gotten to." And even though a lot of people who dislike the Kardashians share the same sentiments, Oprah Winfrey actually came to their defense against Wilson, if you can believe it, with Oprah saying that she couldn't believe how hard the family works, referencing when she filmed the family for Oprah's show, with crews taping the family for 7 hours straight, and then they filmed more of their reality show after. So, as we all know, the Kardashian family really works very hard, even though it doesn't seem like they do too much. And at number 4, Bette Midler. After Kim uploaded her incredibly famous nude selfie where she covered her, nether regions with just like black bars, the internet went ablaze talking about it. One of the people that didn't hold their tongue was Bette Midler, who tweeted out, "Kim Kardashian tweeted a nude selfie today. If Kim wants us to see a part of her we've never seen, she's gonna have to swallow the camera." Which, come on, you have to admit, it's pretty hilarious. Like, even if you like the Kardashians, like, it's a good tweet. As a clapback, Kim tweeted out that it was past Bette's bedtime and that she was a fake friend. And Bette responded back, "Looks like anyone can take a selfie, but not everyone can take a joke." And then she lightened the tension by posting her own nude. When talking about the feud later, Bette had no hard feelings and said she takes Twitter pretty lightly and hoping that Kim did the same. Hopefully Kim wasn't actually too peeved about that. I mean, come on, it was clearly a joke. I don't know. And at number 3, Wendy Williams. If you watch Wendy's show, which I definitely do on occasion, she spills the tea like nobody else, then you know she does not like the Kardashians and is always very blunt when talking about them. But Wendy got the spot of a Kardashian hater when she made some shady comments about Kim after her robbery incident. And when talking about the incident in Paris, Wendy said, "I would hope that she's not making any part of this up for dramatic effect. Because this family, you know, they're kind of soulless. You can't believe everything that you hear." But this was very, very upsetting. And although I do not agree with Wendy at all that the Paris incident was a publicity stunt, a lot of people did feel that the incident could have been exaggerated by the family for views, with people citing numerous times in the past that this has happened with the family. And again, I do not agree, but I mean, she just brought it up as kind of a possibility, and obviously, she loves to shade them whenever she can. And at number 2, Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is another Kardashian ex who was ousted from the family after her and Rob's relationship ended. And you know that whatever went down was bad, because the family is still nice to Tristan and not Chyna, even though Tristan is arguably way worse and embarrassed them so much more. The first of the feud was surrounding the fact that Kylie started dating Tyga, who was Chyna's ex. Then Chyna started dating Rob. And then the two got engaged and then pregnant very quickly. But after they had Dream, the whole thing fell apart and Chyna and the Kardashians were facing off on social media. Chyna even filed a lawsuit against the family, claiming that they stopped her show Rob and Chyna from getting a second season. A judge dismissed that case, but Chyna still shades the Kardashians whenever she can. And at number 1, Anna Wintour. This last one is something that I had no idea existed, but it's probably the shadiest one of all. So Vogue is one of the most prestigious magazines to be on the cover of, and Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were put on the cover in a very controversial move by the magazine's editor, Anna Wintour. When talking about the criticism, she noted that it would be a misstep to ignore the couple's influence, and she made the choice to lead and deal with the backlash rather than follow. And all of that praise to the couple is, you know, all well and good, until she gives them quite a backhanded compliment, saying, "I think if we just remain deeply tasteful and just put deeply tasteful people on the cover, it would be a rather boring magazine. Nobody would talk about us." And although I totally get what she's like trying to say, calling the couple, you know, deeply untasteful is definitely more than a little shady. But I mean, if anyone can shade anyone, it's Anna Wintour. She can shade whoever she wants.
At number 10, Taylor Swift. Back in 2016, Kanye released a song called Famous that featured a lyric involving Taylor Swift that turned out to be quite controversial. Kanye's lyric essentially claimed that he and Taylor would have an intimate relationship because he made her famous. The fame in reference being to the VMA scandal. Remember that? Long time ago. Still in our memories. When the song was first released, Kanye said that he called Taylor before dropping the song to make sure that the lyric was okay and said it got her approval, but later Taylor's publicist came out to say that she was never made aware of the lyric saying that he made her famous. After Kanye was called out for lying, Kim K came out saying that she recorded the whole conversation and it showed that Taylor was actually made aware of the song, and so Taylor was called out for lying instead. Finally, a new chapter has come out which reveals that Kanye never disclosed the entire lyric to Taylor, and so that's why she called him out. This back and forth between Taylor and Kanye basically ended up with Taylor exposing the rapper for lying and warning us about the lengths that he and his wife will go to save their asses, even if they're wrong. At number 9, Chris Evans. I'm sure we're all familiar with Kanye's support for Donald Trump, at least before he decided to run for president himself. Kanye was seen sporting a MAGA hat in 2018 in a post on Twitter, followed by a tweet where he said, quote, "This represents good and America becoming whole again. We will no longer outsource to other countries. We build factories here in America and create jobs. We will provide jobs for all who are free from prisons as we abolish the 13th Amendment. Message sent with love," end quote. Well, after Chris Evans saw this and had to speak up. Denouncing Kanye's political beliefs and ideals, Chris tweeted a reply to the rapper's tweet where he said, quote, "There's nothing more maddening than debating someone who doesn't know history, doesn't read books, and frames their myopia as a virtue. The level of unapologetic conjecture I've encountered lately isn't just frustrating, it's retrogressive, unprecedented, and absolutely terrifying." Chris essentially warned us about Kanye's political beliefs as he called them absolutely terrifying, which they were, seeing as Kanye said that he wanted to abolish the amendment which abolished slavery. At number 8, John Legend. After another
another Twitter rampage about how much he supported Donald Trump, Kanye was getting some backlash from celebrities like Ice-T and Stephen Colbert, as well as John Legend. In a series of tweets from the singer, John spoke about how there are too many people in the world who ignore the presence of racism in society, seemingly pointing the finger at Kanye and his support of Trump's MAGA campaign. John went on to say, quote, "I love that great, brilliant artists have the power to imagine a better future, but artists can't be blind to the truth." And ending his Twitter speech by saying, quote, "The defining trait of Trump's campaign and political profile was his embrace of white supremacy. He made it clear every time he spoke, some serious cognitive dissonance to ignore that for the others you might find appealing," end quote. John seemingly condemned Kanye's support of Trump and how he was essentially fighting against the lives of so many Black Americans, and warned his fans about how dangerous this mindset can be. At number 7, Kim Kardashian. This summer, as Kanye West went on a Twitter rant about his wife Kim, mother-in-law Kris, and even his kids, all eyes were on him and his family because of some of the things he was saying. It was believed that Kanye was suffering from some sort of manic episode as a result of his bipolar disorder. Kim Kardashian released a statement to address his recent online behavior where she said, quote, "He is a brilliant but complicated person who, on top of the pressures of being an artist and a Black man who experienced the painful loss of his mother, has to deal with the pressure and isolation that is heightened by his bipolar disorder. Those who are close with Kanye know his heart and understand his words sometimes do not align with his intentions," end quote. Her statement about her husband's mental health was sort of a heads up to fans as well as the media that Kanye was experiencing a lot at this time and that his actions are sometimes taken out of hand because of his mental illness. It wasn't necessarily a warning, but more so some important information about the rapper as to not judge him too harshly. Kim's statement told us that he has this trouble sometimes and that we should be patient with him at times like these. At number 6, Kris Jenner. Back in 2016, after a bout of controversial tweeting and public scandals, Kris Jenner warned her kids to stay away from Kanye. 2016 was a tumultuous year for the rapper as he got into a number of Twitter beefs and was even hospitalized for a psychiatric emergency. Well, in an effort to distance her family from Kanye's drama, she advised her youngest daughters, Kendall and Kylie, to stay away from him and to not trust him. An insider told sources that, quote, "Kris has advised her daughters to not discuss any upcoming business opportunities or deals with Kanye, saying the less he knows the better." Kris was afraid that Kanye would try and make Kendall and Kylie doubt their business deals, make them feel guilty about their decisions, and give them bad advice. One of the reasons why Kris was so adamant about keeping her daughter's business away from Kanye is because earlier that year the rapper went on a Twitter rant about Kylie and her potential business deal with the brand Puma, where he said, quote, "1000% there will never be a Kylie Puma anything. That's on my family. 1000% Kylie is on Yeezy team." Kylie's partnership with the brand was almost ruined because of this, and so Mama Kris made sure that it would never happen again. At number 5, Lorde. In 2018, singer Lorde accused Kanye West of stealing her stage design. This was in response to a stage design that Kanye and Kid Cudi used for a performance at a music festival that summer that was pretty much identical to what Lorde used at her 2017 Coachella performance. The performers used an identical transparent box suspended over the stage as a focal point for their concerts, and Lorde was not having it. Lorde spoke out about Kanye's creative theft, saying, quote, "I'm proud of the work I do, and it's flattering when other artists feel inspired by it to the extent that they choose to try it on themselves, but don't steal, not from women or anyone else, not in 2018 or ever," end quote. She warned him against stealing, but also seemingly warned other artists about his stealing, since this wasn't a new thing for Kanye. In the past, he's also been accused of similar plagiarism from 9 Inch Nails, and Taylor Swift has also commented on his stage design in her song Look What You Made Me Do. At number 4, Obama. Shortly after Kanye announced in 2015 that he would be running for president in 2020, then President Barack Obama had some thoughts on the matter. While speaking at a fundraising event, Obama poked fun at Kanye's presidential dreams, where he gave him some advice, like telling him he needs to, quote, "be cool with dealing with strange characters who behave like they're on a reality TV show," an obvious reference to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He also poked fun at Kanye's outspoken nature in reference to his Twitter rampages, as well as his background of being a, quote, "black guy from the south side of Chicago with a funny name." Though it was all supposed to be jokes, there was also a message behind Obama's bit which sort of warned the American people against voting for someone like Kanye, because he can't be taken seriously, especially in the world of politics. We saw this over this past summer at his campaign rally where things got out of hand, so maybe Obama was right. At number 3, Amber Rose. In October 2020, Kanye's ex Amber Rose came out in an interview accusing the rapper of bullying her for the past 10 years. She spoke out about her experience dating Kanye for 2 years, calling him a narcissist, and talking about how he's been speaking badly about her publicly for the past decade. She warned others about getting too close to the rapper, saying that unlike her, he has no compassion and attacks people. Going on to reference how he said he needed 30 showers after being with her, she called him out on that, inferring that this was not his mindset back when they were together, and saying that he, quote, says things to make his wife more comfortable. The interview sort of pulls back the curtains on their relationship and shows how Amber has been dealing with it since they broke up in 2010. The fact that even though they've been apart for 10 years, she still gets bullied by him shows that Kanye has a mean side, and by coming forward about this, she's warning other people about getting too cozy with Kanye. Knowing this, it will be interesting to see what Kim might say after they get divorced. At number 2, Drake. In 2018, Drake called Kanye out for backstabbing and betraying his trust, and he warned others about Kanye's schemes to use others for his own gain. In an interview, Drake spoke out about his beef with Kanye and how Kanye leaked some of his personal information, as well as being used by Kanye to make his album. Drake said that Kanye invited him to Wyoming, where he convinced Drake to tell him some stuff about one of his upcoming albums. They bonded, and Kanye gave Drake the song Lift Yourself, which he later released himself. Drake also told Kanye about his then secret son, Adonis. When rapper Pusha T released a song accusing Drake of not writing his own songs, he felt hurt and blamed Kanye for this leak, and when he pushed back, another song was released telling the story about Drake's son. This information was given to Kanye in secret, so he knew that he'd been betrayed. Now he and other artists know better than to trust Kanye. And at number 1, Kanye. This one might be a bit of a stretch, but just go with me on this one. I believe Kanye has been warning us about himself. Over the years, he's written songs that essentially paint him as someone with a god complex and a natural-born leader. Years ago, we would have thought that this meant that he thinks he's better than everyone else and that his music is superior. He and some fans see him as a pioneering force in the rap world, so maybe this thought came about because of the imagery that he created with his music, painting himself as such a lively force. But now, I think he's been warning us of something much bigger. Kanye knew that he was destined for greatness, but we didn't know what his plans were until now. He has his sights set on the White House, and what bigger title is there in America than president, the ultimate leader? Kanye tried running in 2020 and will try again in 2024, so maybe this is what he's been warning us about all this time, of talking himself up. He's called himself the new Moses and says that he will lead his people out of the struggle. He's advocating for musicians owning their rights to their music, so maybe this is just the beginning of Kanye really acting on the leadership role that he's been hyping up for so long.
Coming in at number 10 today, we have Sarah Michelle Gellar. Back in 2014, Sarah Michelle Gellar definitely became Buffy the Kimye Slayer when she threw some serious shade at Kim Kardashian in Kanye West's first ever Vogue cover. Shortly after Anna Wintour approved April issue was revealed, Sarah would head over to her Twitter to say, well, guess I'm canceling my Vogue subscription. Who is with me? While many fans agreed with Sarah's tweet, including me, Kim Kardashian's best friend, Jonathan Schunab, would retweet Gellar's post and he would say, do you even matter? Buffy fanatics would then even start to argue that she very much does. After much of a debate, even Anna Wintour would come out to defend her controversial choice to place the reality TV star and the rapper on her issue cover in the editor's letter by saying, as for the cover, my opinion is that both are charming and touching, and it is, I should add, entirely our idea to do it. You may have read that Kanye begged me to put his fiancée on Vogue's cover. He did nothing of sort, but if you have to come out to claim something like this, it's most likely it was true. Coming in at number 9, we have Jonah Hill. In 2011, Jonah Hill would end up slamming the Kardashian family in an interview, but even after admitting he hated everything the family represents, he still can't stop watching the show. During the interview, Jonah would count himself among the ranks of those who are still keeping up with the Kardashians, but only with great reluctance. And he even was too duped by Kim's wedding, and he would even state that the show took money and attention from people in the television industry who actually worked to create compelling original programming. Also, in the interview, he would go on to note that the whole show was a giant joke, and then he went on to say, the truth is, I have friends who work in TV, and Kardashians get higher ratings than their TV shows. That people actually work hard on writing and creating, trying to tell their stories. The fact that Kardashians could be more popular than a show like Mad Men is disgusting. But that doesn't mean he doesn't watch, as he would then go on to
say, I can't even understand it, so I watch it. I think it's funny and I definitely enjoy it in a making fun of sort of way. But where does the line sort of end? When do I stop making fun of it and become an actual fan? And the truth is, you never actually do. Even fans aren't fans. We just find the drama so fantasizing because what kind of family actually has so much drama going on in their lives 24/7? It's just not healthy. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Lily Reinhart. Lily Reinhart spoke out against Kim after the Skims owner admitted to undergoing a restrictive diet to fit into a vintage Marilyn Monroe gown for the 2022 Met Gala after Kim boasted about her losing 16 pounds to fit into the iconic gown worn by Marilyn during the John F. Kennedy's birthday party. She was able to lose the weight in 3 weeks. Lily would then take to her Instagram story to call Kim out by saying, to walk a red carpet and do an interview saying how starving you are because you haven't eaten carbs in the last month, all to fit in an effing dress, so wrong, so effed on hundreds of levels. To openly admit to starving yourself for the sake of the Met Gala, when you know very well that millions of young men and women are looking up to you and listening to your every word. The ignorance is otherworldly and disgusting. Please stop supporting these stupid, harmful celebrities whose entire image revolves around their bodies. Lily then noted, I'm generally not an angry person, but I swear to God the toxicity of this industry sometimes really gets to me and I have to head to my Instagram story to rant, to release my rage. Number 7, Michael Bublé. When Michael Bublé was performing his iHeartRadio live concert in 2011, he made his feelings about Kim Kardashian crystal clear when he said, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest. Please welcome Kim Kardashian. But after a short pause, Bublé then shot back, nah, I'm just effing with you. That B ain't coming on my stage, before transitioning into his cover of Nina Simone's classic Feeling Good, which he said was dedicated to Chris Humphries. Later he would explain that he hated Kim because she hurt Chris and he wished that she hurt him instead. Michael's diss wouldn't be the only backlash Kim would experience after she filed divorce from Chris after only being married to him for 72 days. The reality TV star even had to enlist in a celebrity lawyer, Marty Singer, to fight back against Jonathan Jackson, who claims that she staged her wedding among other things. Number 6, Daniel Craig. It's no lie that the Kardashian family has made millions from living their lives in the public eye thanks to their reality TV show. But one person who is less than impressed by the Kardashian family is Daniel Craig, who launched an astonishing, foul-mouthed rant about the family in an interview with GQ magazine back in 2011. The James Bond star even labeled the clan as effing idiots and criticized those who sell themselves and then make demands about their private life, when he said, I think there's a lot to be said for keeping your own counsel. It's not about being afraid to go public about your emotions or about who you are and what you stand for, but to sell it off, it's gone. You can't buy it back. You can't buy back your privacy. Oh, I want to be alone? F you. We've been in your living room. We were at your birth. You filmed it for us and showed us the placenta, and now you want some privacy. Referring to the Kardashians, Daniel would then also note that while the clan is worth millions, he doesn't think they were badly off to start in the beginning because of their looks. And then he would go on to say, you see that? And you think what? You mean all I have to do is behave like an effing idiot on television and then you'll pay me millions? I'm not judging it. Well, I am obviously. So the moral of the story is, if you want to be famous one day, maybe take some notes. Number 5, we have Rebel Wilson. In 2015, Rebel Wilson would slam the Kardashian family's meteoric rise to fame in a candid live interview. In the interview, the Pitch Perfect actress said she was frustrated that she had to work so much harder to get to where she is and where she wanted to be, by saying, it's not that I hate any of them individually, but it's just that everything they stand for is against everything I stand for, and they're not famous for talent. I worked really hard to get to where I've gotten to. Rebel didn't even want to be on the stage with the family's 2 youngest siblings at the 2015 MTV Music Video Awards when she said, I got asked to present with Kendall and Kylie at the latest VMAs, but I said no, I'd rather do it myself. She then went on to compare Kim Kardashian to her own acting experience by saying they aren't really about talent talent. I mean, how Kim got famous was from an X tape, and I went to acting school and worked really hard. Number 4, Reese Witherspoon. In 2011, America's sweetheart Reese Witherspoon was really ready to talk some trash when she went on a rant against certain breed of celebrities when she was at the MTV Movie Awards. When accepting a Generation Award from Robert Pattinson, the actress railed at the celebrities in vain of the Kardashians and Paris Hilton and other celebrities when she said, "I get it, girls, that it's cool to be a bad girl, but it's possible to make it in Hollywood without doing reality shows." While a dig was definitely made towards Kim Kardashian and Paris Hilton specifically, Reese would also go on to say, "When I came up in business, if you made an X tape, you were embarrassed and you hid it under your bed." Reese would then go on to say another Hollywood trend she is tired of seeing is the leaking of celebrity nudes photos, and she would even caution those who end up taking them to cover their face so they didn't become the next Kim Kardashian. Number 3, Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm and Kim Kardashian's feud all began when Jon sat down for an interview and said, "Whether it's Paris Hilton or Kim Kardashian or whoever, stupid is certainly celebrated. Being an exploitive idiot is a valuable commodity in this culture because you rewarded it significantly." The quote found its way back to the Kardashians, who responded by saying she respected Hamm and his right to have an opinion, but we're all working really hard and we all have to respect one another. Calling someone out who ruins their own business is part of a successful TV show. Producers, writes, designs, and creates. Stupid is in my opinion. Jon would then come out to clarify that he didn't mean to personally offend Kim Kardashian. He's just not a really big fan of the culture she represents. When he said, "It's surprising to me that it has become remotely a story. I don't know Miss Kardashian. I know her public persona. What I said was meant to be more of a persuasiveness of something in our culture, not personal, but she took offense to it, and that's her right. My quote was simply about the version of television and the version of American culture being celebrated, and it's not something that I particularly enjoy." Number 2, Joel McHale. Back in 2018, Joel McHale would land a new weekly show on Netflix 3 years after E! Pulled the plug on his pop culture show, The Soup. After he made a slew of jokes, Kris Jenner wasn't happy about it. Joel, who dished the dirt on E! From 2004 to 2015, told Variety that his streaming series will in some way be similar with its use of clips from television shows among the pity commentary. Reflecting on his years on The Soup, he would also speak about how one of the network's own shows, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, eventually became a no-go area for him, and he would say when Kris Jenner would complain about our jokes, and then later the president of E! Networks would simply ask McHale to lay off the Jenner and Kardashian family for a week, and then the administration and the president told him to his face, "Don't make fun of the Kardashian family. We don't want you to make fun of the Kardashians." Joel then went on to say that the network really wasn't happy when The Soup started to make fun of Kim, as they always joked about how Kim was only famous for having a big peach and the infamous tape, but I mean, they aren't really wrong. Number 1, Jeremy Renner. Back in 2012, Jeremy Renner would join the growing list of celebrities who have expressed an extreme distaste for the Kardashians. In a recent interview with the UK paper The Guardian, the actor would even claim that he never wanted to be famous, and while discussing the pitfalls of fame, he would unleash his disdain for the reality TV family. When the Kardashians' name was mentioned in the interview, Renner would reportedly roll his eyes and then call them ridiculous people with zero talent, who spend their lives making sure everyone knows their names. He would then add, "They are stupid, stupid people," which makes it definitely safe to say you'll never catch Jeremy spending his weekend binging on episodes of this famous reality TV family show. However, whether you like them or hate them, it seems like if you want to get your foot into Hollywood, you have to get on this family's good side, so you might just want to be careful when it comes to making comments about them, because you never know who might be watching.
And at number 10, Ray J. Kanye and Ray J have been in a long-running feud surrounding Ray J's former relationship with Kim Kardashian and their infamous adult tape. The feud reignited recently after Kanye claimed that he got a second copy of the tape from Ray J and saved Kim from that embarrassment. Kanye has also called out Ray J in a number of songs. In 2016, he rapped, quote, "I bet me and Ray J would be close friends if we didn't like the same woman. Yeah, he might have hit it first, only problem is I'm rich." Allegations were made by Ray J's former manager, Wack 100, on a podcast that there was a part 2 of their tape that Ray J still owned. Both Kim and Ray J shot down these rumors, but they were brought up once again by Kanye. Kanye told Hollywood Unlocked, quote, I went and I got the laptop from Ray J myself that night. I met this man at the airport, then got on a red-eye flight, came back and delivered it to her at 8 a.m. in the morning. Ye went on to say that after he delivered the laptop to Kim, she cried when she saw the footage. However, it doesn't look like that's true, because Kim's team later clarified that there was no other unseen footage on the recently acquired tape, and Kanye was basically lying. Ray J also spoke out against Kanye, who unnecessarily brought up this frustrating topic once again. He wrote on Twitter, quote, "This needs to stop, I also have kids." And at number 9, Drake. This is easily Kanye's most notorious feud that came to a head once again in 2021, during the recent release of both of their albums. Back in 2009, these two were friends and often spoke of how much they respected one another's work. But sadly, over time that started to change, and the pair started taking shady digs at one another, like when Drake started dating Amber Rose shortly after her and Kanye split. But things looked good once again in 2015, when they collaborated on a Big Sean song and even hinted at a collaboration album. But things got tense once again in 2018 when Pusha T released his diss track Infrared, which Kanye produced. The song accused Drake of having a ghostwriter. Then shortly after, Pusha dropped the story of Adidon, which exposed that Drake had a love child. The pair got into another feud when Drake seemingly referenced Kim Kardashian on one of his songs and did not deny the hookup rumors. Things were turned up once again in 2021 after Drake dissed Kanye on a song. In response, Kanye doxed Drake and shared the exact location of Drake's Toronto home. This resulted in both of their albums getting a ton of press for their releases. So honestly, maybe it was all for show. And at number 8, Travis Scott. This feud is even more awkward considering the family connection between Travis and Kanye. In 2018, Kanye dragged Travis into his long-standing feud with Drake. Travis had posted a selfie on Instagram wearing a Nike sweatshirt, which Kanye felt was a betrayal because Kanye had a business relationship with Adidas, who is a huge competitor of Nike's. The feud continued when Drake and Travis collaborated on Travis' hit song, Sicko Mode. And there are lyrics in the song about preferring checks over stripes, aka Nike's signature logo, to Adidas's. And this of course upset Kanye. Kanye later tweeted, quote, "How are you gonna be on Travis's song coming at me? Trav should have never allowed that." He later added, "Meeting with Trav tonight, bet it never be checks over stripes line again on a Travis song." Kylie later confirmed the feud had been settled when she tweeted, quote, "Everyone is good, moved on, living life. For anyone who wasn't aware, Travis has a deal with Nike and still does. Point is, it's all been talked out, it's only positive energy." And at number 7, Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is best known as the lovable cartoon for kids, but she decided to throw some major shade Kanye's way after he released his highly anticipated album, Donda. Pitchfork initially rated Peppa Pig's sophomore album, Peppa's Adventures, the album, a 6.5 in 2021, while the site gave Kanye West only a 6 for his album Donda. So it's clear from these numbers, Peppa is the better artist, right? She thought so too and decided to inform Kanye about her album rating on Twitter. Peppa's team wrote, quote, "Peppa didn't need to host listening parties in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to get that .5, showing pictures comparing both of their Pitchfork scores. The internet was set ablaze by this tweet, and everyone could not believe that Peppa would call out Kanye like that. Shockingly, Kanye did not respond to this call out, even though he responds to almost everything said about him. Honestly, I'm not sure how he would even respond to those cold hard facts. And at number 6, Jay-Z. This feud is really sad because beforehand Kanye and Jay-Z were incredibly close and would even consider themselves to be family. But after Kanye had one too many outbursts, Jay felt it was best for him to no longer have Kanye in his life. Some tension between the two developed when Jay-Z did not attend Kanye's wedding to Kim Kardashian. Then during his Pablo tour, Kanye lashed out at Jay-Z on stage. He said, quote, "Don't call me after the robbery and say, how are you feeling? You wanna know how I'm feeling? Come by the house. Bring the kids by the house like we're brothers, let's sit down." Jay-Z clapped back on album 444, where he rapped, quote, "I know people backstab you, I feel bad too, but this F everybody attitude ain't natural. But you ain't the same, this ain't kumbaya, but you got hurt because you did kumbaya. You gave him 20 million without blinking. He gave you 20 minutes on stage, F was he thinking." Exposing that he gave Kanye $20 million when he was broke. Halfway number 5, Taylor Swift. We all know about the epic feud between Taylor and Kanye that has only gotten worse with time. It all started on September 13th of 2009 at the VMAs. Taylor went up to accept her award when Kanye ran up on stage, stole the mic, and said, quote, "Yo Taylor, I'm really happy for you, I'ma let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time." This horrible decision led to the decade-long feud. The next day, Kanye apologized, but then later rescinded this apology, claiming he'd been forced into this apology. After a few years of no drama, the pair seemed to be friendly again. But that all changed when Kanye dropped his Life of Pablo. In the song Famous, Kanye referenced Taylor, saying they might still sleep together and calling her the B word. Amid public outcry, Kanye's wife, Kim Kardashian, posted videos of Taylor and Kanye discussing the song, with the latter sounding like she approved it. After a year of disappearance in August of 2017, Taylor responded with the track Look What You Made Me Do. The pair's fans still fight over who was wrong in the situation, but it's clear this feud will never be resolved. And at number 4, Amber Rose. The public feud that Kanye had with his ex, Amber Rose, has to be the messiest because a lot of family secrets were exposed. It all started in 2008 when the couple started seeing each other. The pair were together for 2 years before splitting in 2010. Tensions really started brewing when she dated Wiz Khalifa right after, and they ended up getting married. After they split, Tyga started dating Kylie Jenner, which means nothing until you learn that China and Amber Rose are best friends. So Amber was involved in the feud with the Kar-Jenner family. Then Kanye went on The Breakfast Club and said about Amber Rose, quote, "It's very hard for a woman to be with a man who's dated Amber," and apparently he had to take 30 showers before he got with Kim. Kanye also discussed Tyga's relationship with Kylie and said he thought Tyga got in early and that Tyga was smart. Amber responded by tweeting the craziest thing I've ever seen, quote, "Aw, Kanye West, are you mad I'm not playing around in your anymore? Hashtag fingers in the." So very, very messy stuff. Later, Amber admitted that she regretted those tweets. And at number 3, Pete Davidson. Since Kim has started publicly dating Pete Davidson following her divorce from Kanye, Kanye's latest target is Pete, because it's clear that Kanye wants Kim back and Pete is now standing in the way. In a track released last week by West and The Game, Ye rapped, quote, "God saved me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's," referring to his 2002 car crash. Kanye also trashed Kim during an interview, saying, quote, "How you gonna bring me to SNL then kiss the dude you're dating right in front of me?" But apparently Pete is not worried over the threats and thinks they are hilarious. A source said, quote, "Pete thinks it's totally hilarious. Not just that, he thinks the whole tabloid drama with him, West, and Kardashian is hilarious. He loves it." Apparently the newfound feud with Kanye has even brought Pete and Kim closer together. Pete also just confirmed that Kim is his girlfriend. And at number 2, 50 Cent. Yet another rapper Kanye has feuded with was 50 Cent. It started back in 2007 when Kanye changed the release date of his upcoming album to be the exact same as 50 Cent's, Very Shady. Originally it was supposed to drop on September 18th, but Kanye moved it up 1 week to be on the 11th. Graduation sold close to 1 million units and easily beat out 50 Cent, who only sold 691,000 copies. This was a huge moment in Kanye's career, and many say this moment he officially became the king of rap. At that time, 50 Cent said he would never release a solo album again if Graduation beat out Curtis, but when it did, he did not keep his promise, and he's released multiple albums since. Then in 2019, 50 Cent stirred up more trouble by making fun of Kanye's clothing line, saying, quote, "What in the spare some change type is this?" And finally at number 1, Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake and Kanye got into a strange feud after Kanye accused Timberlake of crying after he didn't win a Grammy. While he was speaking at the 2015 MTV VMAs, Kanye spoke of a moment that they had at the Grammys. He said, quote, "I sat at the Grammys and saw Justin Timberlake and CeeLo Green lose. And bro, Justin, I'm not trying to put you on blast, but I saw that man in tears. And I was thinking he deserved to win Album of the Year. In the small box that we are of entertainers of the evening, how could you explain that?" Some fans supported Kanye's comments, because he did compliment Timberlake by saying that he should have won Album of the Year, although many felt he put Timberlake on blast. Timberlake then gave a shady response to this speech, writing on Twitter, quote, "Kanye is so cute, y'all." But after a lot of backlash from Kanye's fans, Timberlake later tweeted in support of Kanye.